Greetings and welcome, all you weary travelers and armchair philosophers. My name is Dan with a K, and the K is silent. I'm thrilled as usual for you to join us. We, all of us, are here to nerd out, to laugh, think a little bit, and just have a good time. On this channel, we will be discussing all things supernatural, paranormal, science fiction, and fantasy. You'll be hearing from my special guests who I invite on the show to share their answers to the topics I provide, and I think you're going to find them quite entertaining and maybe just a little bit informative. At the end of every episode, I invite you to write in your own answer so that you can participate as well. So now, I invite you to relax, grab a snack, unclench your jaw, and put up your feet and get ready to open your mind and test your beliefs as we explore high strangeness and the mysteries of the universe. Vampires and werewolves. What the cuss? Fangs versus claws. Garlic versus silver. Rocky versus Drago. It's an age-old debate. Let's be real, though. It's like chocolate versus vanilla. They're both classic. It's about what you're in the mood for, right? I mean, sometimes I feel like having a Snickers and sometimes Skittles. Am I wrong? No. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's a simple choice. Imagine if you could actually be one of the two. I mean, how freaking cool is that? Well, let's see. The best offer I've ever been given, like in real life, to choose between two things, hot or mild sauce, um, inside or patio. How about paper or plastic? I mean, come on. This is the ultimate chance to choose between two really, really cool supernatural beings. And like I said, I believe in my heart, all of you watching, if you were given the opportunity to choose something greater than a spoon or a fork for your curry dish, you would. So what say you? Vampire or werewolf? I asked my guests to make a choice, and what they told me will shock you to the core. Let's go. Hey, JD. Good to see you, partner.
Mr. Dan, always a pleasure to speak with you.
I am honored, sir. Last time we talked about UFOs. I have more of a supernatural question this time.
Shoot, bud.
Okay, well, if you had to choose between becoming a vampire or a werewolf, which would you choose and tell us why?
Well, I guess if I was a vampire, I could go around the world sucking on blood. But what else do they do? Hey, do they live a long time?
Yes, the basic mythos is vampires can't be in the sunlight, but as long as they feed on a host, they can live forever without disease or whatever. Not sure about like getting sliced or cut.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess you cleared it up for me. Wait, can a vampire... Do vampires need human blood? Or can it be from other animals?
I think they can only survive on, well, I guess their main staple is human blood, like in order to thrive. But I think they can use animal blood, but it's like eating a frozen hamburger patty versus a nice ribeye. You know what I mean?
I feel you, friend. Okay, in that case, I'll take the werewolf. And my reasoning is simple. I ain't got to eat no human blood, and that's number one. Well, number one is I can hunt like I'm the baddest predator on this planet. No bullets, no arrows, no cheating, just the biggest, baddest beast you ever seen. And I would take on bears and big wolves and anything really that I could get at. I might even try my hand at marine life, like a big old shark or something, just something nobody could ever do. And then also, I guess number two, I wouldn't have to eat human blood. That's just wrong, man. Come on, man. That's disgusting.
Good to see you, Don David. You look rested.
Aye, thanks though. I was up all night fixing plumbing problems. What do these uni kids eat to make such a big mess? I mean, my god, the pipes were fine until this new generation came along. It's like they're eating everything in sight. Put down the donuts and put on your trainers and run a lap or two.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugary and salty options these days. Don't I know? Well, anyway, today I want to ask you something different than UFOs.
Whatever you got for me, I'm thrilled to answer.
Perfect. So, Don David, if you had the choice to choose between being a vampire or a werewolf, which would you choose? And tell us why.
Oh, that's an easy one. Werewolf, of course.
Why, of course.
So I could get all those kids who bullied me back in school. I'd turn into that wild beast and I'd hunt 'em down one by one. That'd show 'em.
You sound very passionate about this. What about if you were a vampire?
I wouldn't want to be a vampire because they're nutters.
What do you mean, nutters?
Can you imagine if all you drank and ate was blood? Human blood, no less. That's disgusting.
This from a man who subsides on English food.
You're daft, man. Out of line, butter. Apologize.
Hey, I'm sorry. I kid you. You're right. Human blood sounds like a harsh way to live. No, you're right. Beans on toast is much better. Hello, Max. Good to see you.
It's really good to see you too, Dan.
If you had to choose between being a vampire or being a werewolf, which would you choose? And tell us why.
Now that you bring it up again, I can say that I would want to be a vampire. No question.
Yeah, and what's your reasoning?
Oh my goodness, Dan. Can you imagine the hygiene involved with all that fur? If you were a werewolf, you'd be so filthy. I mean, constantly tearing your clothes and ruining your nice shirts and vestments. I mean, you would have to plan to wear rags basically every time you knew you'd turn into this creature. When have you ever seen or read about a vampire that A, didn't have style and refinement, and B, wasn't confined to a life of violent binging and raging on poor people who happened to be nearby? Oh, the baths you'd have to take afterward. My God, the skin conditioning, all that fur and hair. It would probably take you just as long to clean up after yourself as it would the time you were running around wreaking havoc. I mean, I once made the mistake of adopting my old friend's Chow Chow. My God, the thing was nothing but baths and brushes. That's partly why I have a poodle. She's hypoallergenic and doesn't shed like a dying pine tree in your living room.
I get your point, but what about if you were a vampire? You'd still have to drink people's blood and bite them for sustenance, and you'd be allergic to sunlight.
Oh, please. I'll take sucking down a sangria cocktail any day over that filthy, crude werewolf business. And as far as the sun is concerned, I already have an umbrella for taking walks when it's hot out or too bright. I'm sure I'd be okay. Listen, there's no comparison.
Gunther, so good to see you.
It is a pleasure to be here with you.
I know last time you shared your story about a UFO encounter, and this time I have to admit my question for you is not nearly as profound. It's a fantasy or sci-fi question, I suppose.
Profundity and the absurd are merely different points on a compass. Where you point your aim is not the same as where you point your destination. And the opposite is true.
Thank you for your thoughts and time. So my question is, if you had to choose between being a vampire or a werewolf, which would you choose and why?
Ah, a flawed, undead, immortal Nosferatu, with an unquenchable lust for human blood, or a lycanthropic nightmare known for terrorizing its victims when the moon is bright and full. Given the myths surrounding both, as well as the drawbacks, we must consider what advantages each possesses in order to maximize one's own experience. The animal in me, that is, my lower chakra, my lizard brain, would want only to conquer his environment, to be king of the jungle, so to speak, with the agility of a wild beast and the strength which could only be matched by another such lycanthrope. I would rule the night. However, I must not give in to my animalistic urges. Instead, I would choose to follow my higher reason and become a vampire. The sheer ability to be alive for centuries and endure all that nature has to batter me with and attempt to suffocate me with. Disasters, both epic and personal. I would still have the ultimate ability to gather knowledge. And what better way to digest all that life has to offer than to be able to grow and flourish the mind and fill it with such unabated intelligence, such knowledge, such applied wisdom. The unbearable loneliness would be eradicated by the comfort of the continual hoard of knowledge.
Joey, hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for being here. I know last time we talked about UFOs and you had an absolutely incredible story for us. I did look it up after, and yes, the incident is online. Man, I wish I was there. But now I want to switch up the topic to supernatural creatures.
Yeah, it really happened. All right, yeah, sounds good. Hit me. What do you got?
Okay, so if you had the chance to choose between being a vampire or being a werewolf, which would you choose? And tell us why.
I'm thinking vampire.
Yeah, how so?
Well, I seen all those new vampire movies, not the teenage ones. I mean the slick ones where everybody's fit and dresses like they're going to a club. They got the slick sunglasses on and their hair is all perfect. Like who's that chick? The one in all the movies. You know, the one where she's got the guns and the swords and she's fighting the werewolves.
Oh, you're talking about Underworld. That came out a while ago. Um, I'm sure that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. Underworld. God, that chick is hot. If I was in my prime,
You're thinking of Kate Beckinsale.
is that a name? Yeah, she's a beauty queen. And she's got all those guns and she could move like all fast and dodge bullets and whatnot.
You want to be her?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, wait, are you kidding me? No, I'm saying she's a beauty queen. She's very beautiful and knows how to move around. No, I'm saying maybe if I could be like her, but a man.
Okay, gotcha. I'm sorry, man. I'm just messing with you. I know what you meant.
Yeah, thank you. All right, yeah. So one of those slick vampires with the sports cars and the guns and all that, that would be my pick.
You know, you're the first person that's actually referenced those movies when I say vampires.
Oh yeah? Do people not watch those movies?
No, I think like you mentioned, either people tend to go for the teenage ones from the books and the movies and the shows and stuff with the younger crowd, or they go way back, old school Dracula, like Bela Lugosi, like classic vampire.
Oh yeah, Lugosi. Lugosi was the original, right? He started the whole thing off. By the way, I like how the first vampire is Italian. You know, Italians don't get the respect they deserve for being in those early movies. Lugosi.
Oh, I hate to break it to you, Joey. No disrespect. I'm pretty sure that that was his stage name. I don't even think he was Italian.
Oh, what are you talking about? It don't get more Italian than that. Bella, like he's beautiful. Lugosi, I mean, forget about it.
No, I'm pretty sure he was Hungarian and maybe part Romanian. You can look that up. That was just his stage name.
All due respect, Dan, I'm gonna believe what you say, but I'm also gonna believe he was Italian, at least in his heart. Huh? I mean, Bella Lugosi.
Well, friends, that's it for today's episode. What did you think? Do you agree that werewolves are much more primal and dominating when it comes to creatures of the night? Do you believe that vampires are more cerebral and cunning? Tell us what you'd pick and tell us why. Leave a brief description of what you would choose in the comments down below. And before you go, please do me a solid. Like and subscribe to my channel. Share it with anyone and everyone you think would really be into it. It would mean the world to me. Honestly, it would. I'm Dan with a K. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you with me today. Until next time, stay frosty and everything will be okay.